So, Di Marzio has come out and basically, this is the quote, at the end of the season, Manchester United will say goodbye to Erik ten Hag. It is certain they will be saying goodbye to him. Well, we'll be saying goodbye to Di Marzio if this doesn't come through, because you cannot put a quote out like that and not be correct. I have a few questions about this, which I will come back to in a moment, but there's more to it than this. He then goes on to say that Kieran McKenna is Brighton's #1 target, but he has already spoken to Manchester United. If he goes to Chelsea, United will go for Pochettino. And then you've got Man United targets McKenna and Pochettino. De Zerbi's also on the list, but he's not been in contact with United in recent days. And then we've got an update from the BBC as well. We've got players back for the FA Cup final, including Mount, Lindelof and Martial. I mean, you know what? I feel like we have been linked to more managers than bloody Chelsea. And that's a joke, by the way. But it's just like, if we don't get McKenna, we're going for De Zerbi or Pochettino, or maybe we'll go for Tuchel. Has Ineos not figured out that this is a massive reason to stick with Erik ten Hag? Because we are going from, in a bad manager market, we're that desperate that if we don't get this one, we'll go for this one, and if we don't get that one, we'll go for that one. It's just, I find it really, really weird. I think football's changing. I think football's changing massively. I don't necessarily like the change that I'm seeing. I don't know whether it's the increase in American owners in football, but it feels very much like an NFL model where managers aren't managers anymore. They're just expendable coaches that can just be changed. And, you know, you can get a manager that's managed 3 or 4 other Premier League clubs and it's like, oh, yeah. I mean, for me, football is based on projects. When you look at what Klopp has built at Liverpool, when you look at what Arteta is building at Arsenal, when you look at what Sir Alex built at Manchester United, this wasn't based on, you've had a bad year, get out. It was based on, you know, working through and climbing the barriers and having the setbacks and building something. And I just think the modern football owner, I just don't know, it feels very franchisey, very expendable. But look, let's just go back to the major headline here. It's coming in from Di Marzio. At the end of the season, Man United will say goodbye to Ten Hag. It is certain they will be saying goodbye to him. Well, if Di Marzio is breaking this story, I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned that Di Marzio would know that Ten Hag is definitely going, that we've already had talks with McKenna, that we would go for Pochettino if we don't get McKenna, and then we might talk to De Zerbi as well. I mean, how is Di Marzio getting that unless he's tunnelled in under the fence into the boardroom of Man United? I do not believe this story, and I do not believe that Di Marzio breaks it. I just don't. I think it's guesswork. I have been told by very good sources that it's amazing that Di Marzio knows this story when Man United and Ineos and Sir Jim Radcliffe haven't even made their mind up yet. So that's what I've been told. What we might have is one of the best bits of journalism we've seen in years, or one of the best pieces of guesswork we've seen in years, or one of the worst pieces of guesswork we've seen in years. And I don't know where it falls, but it certainly doesn't help us ahead of an FA Cup final, but you can't dictate the stories in the media. I don't think this makes a blind bit of sense at all for Manchester United. I really, really don't. I just don't. I don't think it makes sense. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. I don't think it makes sense what Chelsea did with Pochettino. I think it's a terrible decision. So Man United might make a bad decision. Ineos might not be the promised land. They might be the, what role have the Glazers got in? I don't know. But I would never, ever in a million years expect Di Marzio to be breaking Man United's managerial change ahead of David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, or 4 or 5 other people. It doesn't make sense as to why Di Marzio would break this. I suspect that my guesswork would be Italian journalist who gets very good. Everything Di Marzio's ever broken about Man United has been based on Italian transfers or Italian agents. So therefore, my guesswork in trying to work this story out would be, who is he close to that wants the Man United job or would know something about the Man United job? And I think maybe De Zerbi. Maybe De Zerbi's looking for the Man United job. We've seen Tuchel stories from Germany about he wants the job. I mean, look, to be honest, over the last 2 months, we've had Gareth Southgate in concrete talks. We've had Thomas Tuchel in concrete talks. We've had Nagelsmann in talks. Now we've got De Zerbi in talks. And yet Man United aren't in concrete talks with anybody. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which way this is going to go. I will not sit here and say, just because I don't want us to sack Ten Hag, that Ineos are clever and they won't do it. They might do it. On the other hand, they might not do it. I don't know. But it's going to be very interesting to see if we get anything more confirmed. Because, as I said, to come out and say that he's definitely going this summer is really quite career-ending for Di Marzio if it is wrong. The only other angle I do have is, remember Ten Hag said about his future, it's a very long answer. What if Ten Hag doesn't want to stay? What if Ten Hag isn't wanting to stay? What if it's not a sacking? What if it's a mutual departure? Because I tell you what, we've seen a lot of those. De Zerbi was a mutual departure. Pochettino was a mutual departure. Maybe we're going to see a mutual departure here where Ten Hag goes and takes another job somewhere else. I mean, he might walk, Ollie, and we've never thought about that. And for me, a mutual departure is technically a sacking unless that manager goes off and gets a better job. But I'm just trying to figure out why Di Marzio would have the exclusive on this, and I honestly don't know.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.